Are you a team leader or a small broker in search of a turnkey agent training solution? Then listen up. This episode is all for you.
Join us today on the Wandering But Not Lost podcast.
This is the Wandering But Not Lost WBNL podcast, where real estate and reality meet. And now your hosts, Jan O'Brien and Matt Emerson.
Welcome to the WBNL Wandering But Not Lost podcast, where real estate and reality meet. This is episode 223. You can find all of our show notes over at WBNLpodcast.com. Jan O'Brien, we created Real Estate Sales Builder a couple years ago. A lot of people are using it, and we're ready to actually enhance that and move that a step forward. So what are we going to talk about today?
It's very exciting because we do get inquiries, and honestly, this is what we'll get inquiries from teams and brokers all the time, and this is what they're looking for. And they'll ask these questions. I was online, I was Googling for agent training, turnkey program solutions, and this is what we find most people want. And what we're saying here is somebody's a team or a small broker and they don't already have a training program. This is really who this is for. So they're looking for some kind of basic real estate training that they can use so they don't have to create it for new or newer agents, or even for their existing seasoned agents, maybe their systems.
Right.
It's basically to add value to their brokerage or their team. But they want something that has current materials. There's a lot of older stuff that's out there on the market. It's been around forever. Older videos that you can get, and there are programs that are out there, but there are people who are looking for stuff that's relevant from today and an easy way to deliver the system, right? So that's the inquiry that we get. So that's how we have turned Real Estate Sales Builder. We have several clients around the country who we've shown how to take our Sales Builder program and convert it. So we're going to talk to you about that as a solution, but let's talk about today. I want to share with you, what options do you have? One of them being obviously find a solution out there, and obviously that's what we do here at WBNL Coaching. But the first one is to create it from scratch. Now, I recently spoke with a broker who's talking to us about it, and what she found was the common thing is everybody would love to be able to do a training program because it could be their program, right? And we'll talk a little bit about the pros and cons, but there's negatives to that, right? So you can create it from scratch as option one. You can level if you are a team leader in a company or a franchise that has training, you can leverage that. More on that in a minute. Or finally, option three is to find a turnkey solution from a real estate trainer or a coaching company out there, right? So let's dive into each one of them. That's really what the options are. So if you do it yourself, the pros are obviously you own it. It's your style, it's your content, it's the way you do business. And that's when we talk to people, right, Matt? It's people would love to be able to do this, but here's the negatives. Number one, do you have the time? And this is what they'll all tell me. I would love to be able to do this, but I do not have the time, nor do I have the inclination or the desire to create the training program. I don't really know if I could sit down and create all of that. That might not be my skill set, but I think people like the idea that they could put their flavor on it. And that's why having option three, which we'll talk about here in a minute, really is the best of both worlds. What else? It's the time or the cost. So you could sit down, you could hire someone to sort of be your ghostwriter. They could help prepare the materials and do all that for you. So that's an option. So now your negative is your time. It still needs your time because it's your content. And, the time you take away, to be honest, it took us 6 months to build Real Estate Sales Builder program.
Yep.
To really build it out and get it recorded and to get it done. It was 6 months of pretty much full-time work, creating the content, writing it all out, then executing it and getting it up into a training delivery system, which is your last thing that you have to figure out. So you just can't write a program today and have, just like, here's what most people do, Matt. They have training, broker or team leader, and the training is them. There's nothing formal. It's come in on Tuesdays, 10 o'clock, and we're going to talk about listings. And you just know you are the person who understands it. You're showing people how to do it, but there's not any backup to it. So if you're not there, the training doesn't get done. You could hire somebody to do it. But what you really want as a recruiting tool for your team or your brokerage is to have training. Everybody wants training. I guess it depends on who you're hiring, what kind of agent you're hiring, but you can customize your training to that. But you do need to have a modern delivery system. It needs to be videos. It needs to be people can go back to, how do I do that listing presentation, or how do I handle those objection handling techniques and so on. So you have to figure that out. And there may be cost involved with that. So that's the cons of doing it yourself.
And it's really funny because, we've worked with a couple of people that we've helped build training programs, and it is extremely time consuming, and here's also the thing, unless you are building evergreen content that is going to really be, last forever, you're going to have to constantly be updating your program too. And that's something that we do on our end, on a fairly regular basis. So that's kind of a big thing as well. I just had another thought about the doing it on your own. I lost it, but if I think of it again, I'll bring it up.
We'll come back. It always does. So option 2, leverage your company training program. This applies if you're a team within a company that has training or a franchise. Obviously, if you're a small broker listening, this is, one of the reasons you're a small broker is you want to do it your own way and you may not have training. It's go back to option 1, do it yourself. So the pros on this one is you could leverage your company's existing training, saves you time and money, and you can use this as the foundation of your program. Now, what are the negatives to this? Because there's nothing that's exactly perfect, right? It's depending on the content. Is it really relevant and updated? When's the last time your company updated the content? Is there some good core stuff in there? Is it outdated? Is it really taking into account the way things work? Is there updated information about social media and so forth in it? Your company may not have a training program, obviously, and then you're probably going to need to customize or augment the company program for your team anyway, right? The way you like to do business. You're always going to need to do that in any program. Obviously, if you do it for yourself, you'll be doing that from scratch. So that's an option. You could leverage that and then just maybe add some things to it. But
wait, before you get to option 3, what I was going to say was, it's interesting. A training program is just as crucial on the recruiting side. And you kind of brought this up, but on the recruiting side, that it is actually for the training side. And we find that there are a lot of people that almost use the training as the hook to get people to actually sign up, whether or not the agents go in and actually do all of the training, is a whole nother thing. So it's really interesting. They're really two separate beasts, both vitally important, to make your business thrive and grow.
Well, this is where whether you do option 2 with your company training or you find a turnkey solution like what we have, you get the best of both worlds, meaning you already have all that legwork done. We have the core. We're going to go through that and tell you, but then you get to add your flavor to it.
Right.
And that's what you're talking about, Matt. A real estate agent joining a team that wants support and training, if this is the style of a team that you want, it wants training, but wants to be able to know you can get both, right? So they could do self-paced training with an online program, but then you can leverage our program to have a real program that you run on a weekly basis or have a trainer run it for you. And then you can add your flavor as a team leader or broker to come in and teach certain parts of it or come share how you do a listing presentation. You know what I mean? Then you don't have to write all the material and you get to kind of put your flavor on it. You can use our foundational training and really we're saying it's all pros, no cons. There's a little work that you need to do to customize it for your area because we're a national company. We have written a core 12-module training program that covers the fundamental systems every real estate agent needs, whether you're new, newer, or seasoned agent. We use this real estate sales builder. Sometimes I'll have a team leader reach out to me for one-on-one coaching, or they purchase our team builder program, which takes into account that you should have already had your systems in place. And the reason we even built Sales Builder a few years ago is that we were coaching teams that did not have the foundational elements in place.
That's right.
Here they are wanting to build a team, and the team builder program says, let's take your sphere of influence, a referral system and make a team version of it. Well, it's like, well, I don't have one. So we had to go back and create something that really works for every level of an agent. It is the foundation if you're newer. It is great if you are seasoned and never really put these things in place. And it covers everything, 12 modules from the fundamentals of real estate, which really is kind of what you need to do to be successful. Then our entire business planning course is in module 1. In module 2, it's all about the database and referral system and everything that you need to do for beginners and advanced client appreciation program. Then we have a whole module on effective open houses, a modern way to do open houses. Module 4 is working with buyers, A to Z, how to find buyers, how to qualify the buyers, how to nurture the buyers, and then how do you go out and show buyers and all those techniques. Module 5 is a sales training, personality and communication styles. We added this. It's a little bit more advanced, but it's really powerful because we do a lot in coaching. A great module to help you understand who you are, your agents are, and how they can communicate better and have more success working with people. Then sellers, we have 2 modules on. 1 is just on work, like it's A to Z. It's like module 4 for sellers. Then 7 gets into how much more you got to do with sellers, listing presentation and marketing, and how to handle modern ways to do listing presentations. I really believe in a pre-listing presentation. And by the way, all the materials are in this, things you can download and use. 8 is farming strategies, but not just geo farming. We talk about all the other niche and specialty things that you can do for farming. 9 is social media and online presence, very important. 10 is how to take online leads and convert them. 11 is niche marketing. This is where we really get in and help people discover how do you pick what you're passionate about. And BDA means before, during, and after. We're going to fine tune your before, during, and after systems for buyers and sellers, show you how to get client reviews. And we end with the business and financial fundamentals, because you are a business owner, and we help you get set up on what you should be doing to really make your business a business.
Right.
So
And Real Estate Sales Builder was designed with really digestible, bite-sized videos, so you don't have to go in there, and every module is not an hour and a half long. There's over 90 videos in this program, so it's all really bite-sized. It really focuses on the topic at hand, so that makes it very, very easy for today's person to go in, and with the attention span that we have nowadays, to actually, get on a topic and learn it. And then Jan referenced that we have a plethora of downloads in here. There's over 110 downloads in this program, and that alone is huge, not only for the new agent that's building their business, but this is where this program is good for an agent of any skill level, because there's if you're going back and you are kind of reevaluating your business and what you have in place and looking at your foundation, there's probably a ton of stuff you really don't already have. So we have built a lot of that for you, taken a lot of the work out of the process. You just need to go in and do some customization of your own.
I mean, every module has a workbook that contains all the content that we go over in the videos, plus all the systems and checklists. We have a Let's Get to Work. It's very much built. So if you're an individual agent listening right now, or watching, you could go get this program just for yourself and do your own training, whether you're on a team or not, to help you get your business systems in place. If you feel like you need a refresher, it's all there. At the end of every module, we have a Let's Get to Work checklist, which is part of the accountability to say, here's what we just covered, now go do it. Okay. Yep. So all of that is in there. And then what we now are excited to announce that we're doing is we are launching, because we've had so many inquiries recently, we've had some great success stories with brokers and teams. We decided to, and we already kind of put this all together, so now we're going to formalize it for some of our clients. We customize it, how to use our program for your team or company. We are basically creating a Sales Builder trainer certification course, which we're hoping to launch in February. We're working on it now, and the launch date is February. It'll be a course that's standalone for team leaders or brokers who want to know how to use our core training program, and how to take these 12 modules and how to actually conduct the training program in your office. Okay, so we're going to walk through. There are going to be about 4 or 5 modules in here about how to coach agents successfully. How do you take our materials? What's the best way? Case studies on how we've helped people get the delivery of the training is key. You can't just get our program and say, hey, agents, sign up and go watch, Jan and Matt cover the materials. You really have to have a way that you're holding them accountable. We walk through 3 or 4 ways you can do that, whether you do it or you find somebody to help be a mentor with it. We provide you a list of all the supplemental training that you need that will support the program. So in our coach certification manual, we actually show you how to run 12 plus training sessions leveraging this. What you can do is exercises. It's basically turnkey. It's everything you can do. So you don't have to sit and go, what should I do on week 2 or week 3? It can be customized to run longer if you want to. Not everybody's ready to do it in 12 weeks. We talk about all of that in this certification program. But what you will need to do, and we walk you through in the program, where can you find training, or what you'll have to augment is what we can't do is, if you're in Texas, I don't have the Texas forms. Right. So if you're going to teach an agent, part of a great training program has to be, how do you leverage the software, the MLS software that you use? How do you get updated on market reports? How do you fill out all the contracts and forms? And again, if you're a team, you probably have that in your brokerage, but if you don't, there's ways that you can find some of that. A lot of the local boards have a lot of that training. So it's about you. We help you go figure out, how do you find that, to say, okay, agent, we have this training. Now you go over here to the local, MLS and take this training and that training, so you know how to fill out the forms, or maybe you conduct a training on how you fill out the forms. We have all of that covered in every one of these modules. Is there a supplemental local training that would really make the overall training program better? That's what we've done for some brokers, and that's why it's successful. And then what we do is coach the trainer, or whoever's going to do this, on how to take this and put your flavor on it. Because if you're going to own a training program, it's only as good as the person delivering the training. And then we give you the backup on it. Now, what's going to come in this program is, when you buy this program, it will have all this training for the trainer, the broker. It's lifetime access. You will get one user license for Sales Builder as part of this overall package, so you can see the training. But then we will negotiate with you, just based on, we have a program, variety of programs based on how many agents you have, to get the Sales Builder program at a discount. We'll talk to you about different ways to get, whether the agent pays for it, you compensate them later, or you pay for it. We'll walk you through all that. But the good news is, you don't have to worry about any of that. You just work out the ways you want to do it, and then we become your training partner. We provide the course to delivery. It's on our website. We handle the payments, the setting up of the credentials. We handle any material updates. Everybody that buys it gets it as a lifetime. We're the tech support. There's your tech support right there, Matt. And then it includes an initial consultation session where Matt and I will sit down and talk to you about what you're needing to do, and help you customize the training for your needs. So we're very excited about this, and we think this is going to be a very affordable and turnkey solution that, I'm not going to lie, okay? Because, we've had some people go, well, I thought I could just buy something off the shelf and use it. You could, but it won't be effective, because you can take our materials, but we know from the years of training and running companies ourselves, you have to have somebody boots on the ground, local, that's going to hold the agents accountable and run a program that they're going to show up to, whether you do it via Zoom, whether you do it live. You need workshops, you need hands-on. We're going to give you the core foundation, so you don't have to go waste your time or money doing it. That's really it, right, Matt?
Absolutely. And here's the thing, we have had some really fantastic success with this program and our mentoring program, coaching program, with a company in New Jersey, Realty One Group, a legend in New Jersey. And the mentor they have is Lodi Tianos, and she is actually going to be our special guest next week on Ask Five. So you're going to be able to hear right from someone who's gone through and actually used the coaching program, just what it's all about, and how we have helped her really own it. That's the thing that's so beautiful about this. They got our program, we walked them through it, and now after 5 or 6 sessions that she has done, it's really her program, with us being the support and, providing the, the foundation and the program behind her. So you'll hear all about that next week, but it's good stuff.
Yes. And we are ahead of schedule. We have booked people for our interviews. We're going to carry on, and in our next session, that's just more coaching. We're going to talk about how do you run an agent training program. And then we'll finish our series out on this with our best techniques on how to coach agents. It's different than running a program, and then techniques on how to do one-on-one coaching and helping and so on with your team or your brokerage to get the most out of the folks, or how to even get the right people to join you. We're going to talk a little bit about all that.
Right.
We're very excited about all that, Matt Emerson. It's going to be this takes us through what? We've already got us all the way through February.
The first week of March. What's up with that?
Whatever. Weekly. Come join us on the podcast.
Hey,
all you listeners, thank you. I've been getting some feedback about people listening. Thank you so much. Little shout out. I don't know where you might listen to the podcast. Getting a little review always helps us. If you have time to pop that in. And Matt, I don't know if Matt has it in the YouTube, but we should put front and center, give us a Google review on our WBNL Coaching Google area, because, if you have done work with us or you enjoy this, it always helps, right? Just like you need to go out and get reviews for your business. It would be great if you want to drop us a line or click on either podcast, Apple or Google, and just give us a review. That would be awesome.
All right, everyone. Good stuff. All the show notes over at WBNLpodcast.com. This has been episode 223. We'll be back next week, like we said, Ask 5 with Ludi from New Jersey. She's excited to join us in the podcast studio, so we're looking forward to talking with her.
Yeah, she's not just a great trainer. She used to be a high school teacher, I think she said. So she's an amazing trainer, but she really is, she's running a team herself, so she's doing the
She is fantastic. I'm looking forward to actually chatting with her next week. That's going to be great. All right, everyone, get up, get out, to be forever wandering, but not lost.
See you next week.